In an action film, the list of stuntmen and women can be longer than the list of credits for actors. These roles are important to the safety of the cast and crew, but sometimes movie stars want to perform their own stunts. These stunts can go terribly wrong and cause long-term damage to the stars.
I got a bad feeling about this.
But nonetheless, they continue to want to perform them. Sometimes these stunts could be a simple turnaround that any one of us can do, but when you're on a film set, things can get dangerous. Get ready to like Screen Rant's list of 10 movie stunts that weren't supposed to go horribly wrong.
I like this thing.
Bruce Willis in Die Hard. This action-packed film that spawned a holiday movie-watching tradition almost made Bruce Willis deaf. After Alan Rickman's Hans Gruber and gang took over the Nakatomi Corporation building, one man stood in the way of them stealing $640 million in bearer bonds, Willis's John McClane. When Willis fired a gun, the sound of the gun going off was compressed due to his location under a desk. He went deaf in one ear, only getting back about 45% of his hearing. It must not have fazed Willis since he keeps making Die Hard sequels. Charlize Theron in Aeon Flux. Charlize Theron has given her all for her films, which is why she has an Oscar and has starred in some awesome action films. While performing in Aeon Flux, Theron knew her role would be physical, and she felt she was prepared due to her training as a professional ballet dancer. While performing a back handspring, Theron landed on her neck and sustained a spinal disc herniation and massive nerve damage. 5 days in the hospital and weeks of physical therapy taught Theron to leave the more difficult stunts to her stunt doubles. Jackie Chan in Armour of God. You're probably not surprised that Jackie Chan is on this list, but the surprise is he won't stop performing stunts, and honestly, we don't want him to. Chan has slid down the side of a skyscraper, free-fallen 60 feet, and has even been hit by a helicopter in flight. Still, his worst injury came in 1991's Armour of God, with a stunt that wasn't nearly as dangerous. He was supposed to jump from a slope and into a tree, but he missed and hit his head on a rock, causing a piece of his skull to go into his brain. That must have been the part of the brain that enhances fear, because Chan isn't afraid of anything.
Hallo, ihr Lieben.
Diane Kruger in Inglorious Bastards. The Inglorious Bastards recruit and German film star Bridget von Hammersmark, played by Diane Kruger, is tasked with infiltrating a movie premiere in an attempt to kill Hitler and other top Nazi officials. Sadly, Kruger's character is killed before the deed is finished, in a realistic strangulation scene. That's because director Quentin Tarantino convinced Kruger to be strangled for real. Realistic, yes, but he could have given her a chance to try acting before cutting off her air supply in that dangerous stunt. Steve Carell in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. One of the most memorable scenes from The 40-Year-Old Virgin is when Steve Carell gets his chest waxed. Some can say this isn't a stunt, but normally close-ups would be shot by a stunt double and not the lead actor. Carell decided it would be funnier if he got waxed himself and not have a stunt double take his place. The director used 4 cameras to ensure no retakes would be needed, because he knew Carell wouldn't want to do it again. We are thankful that Carell decided to become a mano-lantern. Halle Berry in many of her films. Halle Berry is not someone you want to stand near while working on a movie set. She has had multiple injuries on multiple films and seems to not be getting any better. While filming Gothika, she broke her arm. Then, on the set of Catwoman, she hit her head on a lighting rig, but it doesn't stop there. She broke her foot on Cloud Atlas, and during the film The Call, she smacked her head on the floor. Still, her most embarrassing moment came from the film Die Another Day, when she choked on a fig during a sex scene with Pierce Brosnan. Yes, we said fig. Get your mind out of the gutter. Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future Part 3. After 3 Back to the Future films, you would think Michael J. Fox would be used to his Marty character being harassed by the Tannins. Yet, during the filming of Back to the Future Part 3, he almost lost his life. In the scene where Buford Mad Dog Tannen hangs him, he decided to perform his own stunt. In rehearsals, all went well, but when it came time for the actual shoot, he was asphyxiated and lost consciousness. No one realized it until a crew member noticed his acting was a little too good, and luckily they cut him down. Jennifer Lawrence in The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. She's one of the hardest working actresses in Hollywood, and she demands the same pay as her male co-stars. That's because she deserves it. Not only does she bring in the ticket sales, but during the making of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, she was injured twice. During training, she ran into a wall, and when filming with a smoke machine, it broke and she was covered in smoke. She almost choked to death, but luckily she survived and had no permanent injuries. Jeremy Renner in The Avengers. Jeremy Renner opted out of using a stuntman for many of the action scenes in the Avengers. In the shot where he jumped from a 2-story building, turned, and shot an arrow towards the camera, it was actually Renner. His impressive skills were used throughout the film, until he turned the wrong way during a fight and blew out his back. This injury is still with him today, and now he looks for a stunt double to take his place in the more aggressive scene. Harrison Ford in Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens. Harrison Ford has survived a plane crash and the wrath of a movie prop all in the same year. When the Millennium Falcon's door landed on then 71-year-old Ford, it broke his leg and caused other severe injuries. The studio responsible was fined $2 million, even though Ford wasn't upset at all. He was joking and trying to keep others calm as he waited for them to lift the door off him. They should have called Chewbacca over to help. What do you think of our video? Did we skip over any of your favorite movie stunts that went horribly wrong? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos. Thanks for watching.